Treksploration.
Hello and welcome back to Treksploration. I'm Albie.
And I'm Chris, and I was just looking down at my phone while Albie introduced us. Sorry to make late eye contact with all of you fine folks out there in YouTube land.
Welcome back. You've been in Europe for what, a month and a half now?
It's like 17 years.
Wow.
Basically, I'm an expat at this point.
Talk to me about your vacation. How was it? What's been happening since we talked last?
I married the right woman who likes travel. And I never would have traveled anywhere outside of the United States, much less maybe outside of New York, except to go to college, had I not met her. This was her idea. Because of Laura, I've been to Egypt. I've been to Petra, Petra where like the Indiana Jones, the Last Crusade took place, there, yeah.
Did you find the Holy Grail?
Jordan. I went to Jordan. I found the Holy Grail in Petra. I've been, far and wide because of my wife. It started on our honeymoon when she insisted we go to Hawaii. I was like, I can't afford Hawaii. Guess what? We're still here. We're still eating.
Yeah.
So this time, she's always, since we were dating, wanted to go to Prague. And I said, well, look, you just finished school. I'm sorry, now Dr. Laura. I'm married to Dr. Laura, as we all know. I said, you just finished school. Why not celebrate? Why don't we? You always said you want to go to Prague. Let's go to Prague. She's like, are you sure? Can we do it? Are you sure? And she's like feeling, she hasn't worked for a couple of years because she's been focusing on school. She's been doing this. And I said, again, what's the point of waiting? We're not getting any younger. So let's just do it. You just did this monumental thing. You're a doctor now, Dr. Laura. Let's get it done. So we did this trip that she figured out. It was with a tour group called Trafalgar. I've traveled this way before. We did the same thing in Egypt. And I find that sometimes it's great, like if you're going to a smaller place, to be more directed in your travel, to make your own itinerary, to make your own plans. But I like to do that like here in the States, like if I'm driving somewhere, like I'll go to Vermont a lot or New Hampshire when I met you or that. But when you go into a foreign place, you want to have somebody on the ground with you, especially if it's your first time, that knows what they're about. They know the area. They know where to bring you. They can give you all the highlights. And some people eschew that. I have a friend, Tom. He doesn't even pack. He'll like get on a plane, land in Mumbai, and just figure it out for the next 10 days. That's just how he is. I can't do that. So we did this trip where we landed in Germany. We started out in Munich.
Oh, wow.
And we spent a night there. And then from Munich, I'll probably get the order wrong, but we went to the Czech Republic and Prague. And then we went to Slovakia. There was a town in Slovakia. I forget what it was called. Anyway, then from there, we went to Budapest in Hungary.
Wow.
And then my favorite part of the trip, we went to Austria. So in Austria,
Sound of Music stuff.
Yeah, we went to Vienna. And
Did you get the sausage?
Fantastic sausage. Yes, I had sausage in Salzburg.
Wow.
That was the day of the Sound of Music tour. I guess Vienna is big Sound of Music stuff, and I went on the Sound of, because you know how much I love musicals.
Yes.
I insisted that we go on the Sound of Music tour because it promised like mountain vistas and lakes and things like that. That's really what I wanted to see. I wanted to see like all of like the mountainous terrain over there, and it was very heavy on Sound of Music at first, and I'm like, oh God, they were playing like I Am 16 going on 17 on the bus. And I was just like, I hope we crash.
All the boys will stand in line.
Right. But then we got to like some more of the mountain vista part of the thing. And it was great. It was just,
tell me you got on a hill and you spun around with your arms in the air.
I'll tell you that. Yes, Albie, I did.
Tell me that your clothes out of curtains. I want to know all of this.
With the sound of Griswold. So, long story short, I mean, then we went from Vienna, and then we did Salzburg, and then we did the Eagle's Nest, which was like
what is
one
that?
of Hitler's forts. It was up in the mountains in Germany. And I felt kind of guilty going there. Like, I don't want to support or glorify that part of history, but at the same time, it's a historical landmark and something you can see. And it's like, again, perched on this crag, on this mountain overlooking this valley. It's absolutely gorgeous scenery up there. And you get up there and it's a restaurant. I mean, it's just essentially a giant restaurant now. So, it's for tourists who want to have like a soda when they're done walking around looking at stuff. So, and then one more night back in Munich, and then we came home. So it was about it was a 10-day thing, a lot of travel. The most travel we've done in quite a while. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
look at it this way. Again, I was always the guy like, oh, I can't do that. I can't afford this. It's too far. It's too much. And I have never regretted traveling ever. No matter what's involved, sometimes you hit setbacks. You'll always be better for the experience, in my opinion. That's just my PSA. If you can do it, do it. If you're able to do it, do it. If you really want to do it but don't think you can, work towards it and find a way
yeah,
because you won't regret it. I can't believe I saw an opera in Prague at
that's
this opera
amazing.
house that was built in, like 1260 or something. It was beautiful. It was just incredible. So that was another interest of mine, all the opera stuff. I was able to go to various opera houses that are just like balls, like royalty had them built, so they're just the most ornate, beautiful structures you've ever been to. I stood outside the opera house where Mozart conducted the premiere of Don Giovanni. Like, Mozart conducted the premiere there, you
That's
know?
insane.
Yeah, uh-huh, Amadeus was right there. So so anyway,
Good
yeah, I
movie.
mean, that's other fandom colliding, right? I didn't see any Star Trek stuff. I saw
Why
not one
there?
one
Yeah,
comic
you're
book
what,
shop at all.
300 miles away from the Star Trek roller coaster or something
Yeah,
like
pretty
that?
much,
In the
yeah,
wrong
you
direction?
yeah, and we were going east. That
Yeah.
was back west. So
Yeah, so close though. Maybe next time. Did you go to the Prague, Street Festival?
no, there wasn't really, much time for stuff like that because the tour that we had, the guy was really good. He's been doing it forever, since, like, before the pandemic, like, way before, and he gets us up and out. Like, there wasn't a morning that we woke up later than, like, 6 AM. Most
Wow.
most times, like, 5:30 because he wanted us on the bus between, like, 7:30 and 8,
Yeah.
because to get to these places, to actually see them
Mhm.
before they're overrun with other tourists, you gotta be first.
Yeah.
So, he made sure that no matter where we went, we were first, and,
Very cool.
there was some free time, but you're in the middle of these city centers, you're just walking around looking at stuff. I didn't see a street festival on. Is
Oh,
there
I don't
is there,
know
like,
when it
an
was
eternal street
exactly.
festival in Prague,
It
or
was in the past few weeks. I just did it, virtually. It's like a 3-hour walking tour of a Prague, street festival, and I really enjoyed it, but I kept looking around just in case you or Laura were there buying something.
No, yeah, I wish we would've waved to you, Albie,
Oh,
but,
cool.
I mean, one of the highlights of Prague was the Charles Bridge,
Mm.
and that's, just absolutely gorgeous, but here's it's not a complaint, because I would be a douche if I complained about but I can tell you this, after a while in that area of the world, you start to get antiquitied out. I mean, everywhere you turn, there are ancient churches, ancient cathedrals, palaces, castles. It's just like you got to stop taking pictures after a while because it's just like
So much, yeah.
you won't even remember what you're looking at when you get home. So
That reminds me of when we were in New York and you're, me and Serenity's tour guide, and I was like we are like, "What's that?" And you're like, "Another church!"
I
And
don't
we were
know
like,
what
"Another
to
church!"
I mean, you guys forgot that we went to the Statue of Liberty, so
Yeah, we did. We didn't know that was called the statue. We're like, "What statue? The one by NBC? I don't know." Oh,
so,
wow,
yeah,
that's
so
amazing. Well,
yeah, it
welcome
was
back.
it
I'm
was a
glad you
great
made it home
trip.
safe.
Yeah, thank you for asking. I appreciate
Yeah,
it, and,
I'm
yeah.
excited to see more pictures and such.
Yeah, yeah, I'll send you some, maybe you wanna pop some up. I have some shots of the opera house in Prague, especially.
Yeah.
Inside was just wow.
Got some video from the street in the group message. That was really cool. Just,
Yeah,
nice view.
and that was one thing. I wanted to send you a lot more, but for whatever reason, we have the chat on Discord.
Yeah.
And they just like their bandwidth is nothing. Like if
Yeah.
you try to send more than one picture, it just says message failed. So
Yeah.
I tried to send some stuff through Facebook Messenger. I know that's problematic to grab stuff off of
Mhm.
sometimes. So anyway, that's a long way of saying there's plenty you haven't seen.
Awesome. I'm glad you guys had a great time and well deserved too. You work hard and Laura does as well. So I'm very happy for you guys.
Yeah, well, if like I said, and the greatest thing about these tours, this is my last thing. Um, they're mostly inclusive with a lot of stuff. So the one price you pay will be basically the price, that plus the airfare. You might need some money for incidentals for a couple of meals, but it's not like you get there and then you have to put out like another $1,000,000 because you gotta eat, you know?
Right.
So that's another way of, especially, I'm always budget minded. So
Yeah,
you
me too.
try to do these things in a way that you can get there and actually enjoy it instead of being there and worrying, oh, now what is this costing me? Now what
Yeah,
is this
all
costing
inclusive
me?
is good because
Yeah,
I always have to budget like whatever I spend getting there and staying there. I just double it and just assume that's what it's going to be. So
I
that's
got you.
good.
I
Yeah,
got you. So,
that's good.
so anyway,
Anyway, we are talking about Star Trek: Strange New World, Season 2, Episode 10, Hegemony Part 1.
hegemony.
Yes, hegemony. Huge money. Hedge money.
Hey, baby, what's your sign? I'm a
Uh,
hegemony.
so this you really got to watch this episode before you watch the season premiere of season 3 of Strange New World. So we figured we'd jump ahead to this one. Is that a good
Yeah.
idea, Chris?
I think
What do you
so. I
think?
mean, I don't know how. Yeah, we're just a little shot behind the scenes. We're recording all over the place. We're completely out of order
Out of order.
ever since we got news that Strange in the Worlds was both on its way and we got access to screeners. Oh, can I say that?
Yeah.
So we've been sort of in a mad scramble to figure out how to cover most of SNW because we really haven't beyond the
The
premiere, the
premiere.
series
Yeah.
premiere.
Yeah.
So
Strange New World, Strange New Worlds.
yeah, we need to know, or we needed definitely to use this one to set up the premiere for season 3 because it's Hegemony Part 2.
Part
So
2.
so definitely Hegemony Part 1 needs to be done by itself, and then we might do what, like a retrospective of the
Yeah, I'm
both
thinking like season
seasons,
1
or
maybe and season 2 like just to talk about it.
like
I don't know.
a quick retro. The way I
Yeah,
was
like a
thinking
catch
about it.
up.
Yeah, and let's see how the sausage is made. I was
Mhm.
thinking maybe we just go per season, we do the episode descriptors and say what we thought of them and what we remember about them and all that. And if there are some that we find especially moving or special, we can discuss them at greater length. But I think that
Mhm.
that's a good way to just refresh everybody's memory in general about
Mhm.
the series as a whole, and also to discuss the more pertinent things that we feel about Strange New Worlds. I would say to everybody to go listen to our show talking about the series premiere. Um, Even though my mic was completely bluey on that one, my audio sucks on it, but we said a lot of stuff about how we feel about Strange New Worlds in general there, if you can't wait to see kind of our mindset.
Yeah. And I'm excited to talk about it. The ones I want to specifically talk about by themselves eventually are like the fantasy episode, I forget what it's called, and the musical episode. So, those deserve their
You
own
want to
show.
talk about the musical episode?
209, which is the episode before this, which gets referenced in this episode. I don't know if you caught that. Uh,
Shocker. Albie
yeah.
wants to
So,
talk about a
Stranger Worlds,
musical.
season 2, episode 10, Hegemony Part 1, star date 2344.2, which is
Twen-
2259, bar date.
Yep.
Original air date August 10th, 2023. Really?
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, I looked all
Wow.
this stuff up and it does seem like it's very, very far back, but
Yeah, it's a couple years it's been. It's
yeah.
been. All right.
So, yeah.
Written by Henry Alonzo Myers and directed by Maja Verillo.
Vervillo.
Vervillo.
Vrvilo.
I
Vervillo.
actually know who these people are after I watched the special features in the Blu-rays.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah, it's worth checking out. So,
Groovy.
yeah, Henry Alonzo Myers is one big up on the team on this show, so that's great. Chris, in case people don't quite remember Hegemony Part 1, could you give us one of your amazing episode synopsises?
I shall try. I don't know
Thank you.
about amazing, but it'll be a synopsis. The sun shines on Corn Pone White Bread Colony as Captain Batel and the crew of the USS Cayuga give the colonists their yearly physicals and vaccinations. Christine Chapel is along for the ride, inoculating the locals with a sad smile. She is still bummed about her recent spat with Spock. She and Batel have a heart-to-heart before Chapel beams back up to the Cayuga. But Chapel's heartbreak is not the only thing wrong in this obvious homage to the episodes of TOS that use the Andy Griffith Show sets as their backdrops. First of all, this colony is out on the edge of the frontier with apparently zero medical infrastructure, just diners and barbershops as far as the eye can see. But never mind that, because suddenly all comms are jammed and a giant, sinister ship is dropping out of the clouds. It's the Gorn. The Enterprise rushes to the Cayuga's rescue, but when they arrive, they find the ship destroyed, an orbiting mass of floating debris. What's worst? What's worse and worse, I had a lot of sausage in Germany, so it was worse.
I want
What's
sausage.
worse, April sends Pike word that the Gorn hegemony considers the planet to be in their space, and that Pike is forbidden to mount a rescue lest he spark a war. But Captain Boyfriend is having none of it, and they come up with a plan to rescue Batel and the stranded colonists. Rig a shuttle to look like another drifting piece of the destroyed Cayuga, and they will sneak in under the Gorn radar. And that's exactly what Pike, Erica, Mabinga, La'an, and Sam Kirk do. Once planetside, they find the colony all but destroyed and overrun by baby Gorn. There is a massive structure jamming comms and transporter signals, but they do find a faint human life sign, which they follow into a clever corn trap. Corn trap? Gorn trap. Rigged. Gorn trap on Cornpone planet. Rigged up by none other than Lieutenant Montgomery Scott. Scotty
Scotty.
leads them to the survivors, and a reunion of Batel and Captain Boyfriend ensues. Meanwhile, back on the Enterprise, Uhura comes up with another crazy plan to get the transporters working again. They can mount portable thrusters onto the destroyed saucer section of the Cayuga and steer the wreckage planetside to knock out the Gorn's jamming tower. And of course, no mere human can do this, so it's up to Spock to complete this Herculean task. I mean, why can't a human do this? It was a weird part of the episode for me. Anyway, cut to the wreckage of the Cayuga. A battered Christine Chapel comes to in one of the few habitable pockets of the ship, because of course she does, because she's part of the main cast, and it's just in time to see Spock flying by outside. What great timing. They reunite while battling a really cool-looking spacesuited Gorn, defeat the scaly baddie, and send the ship careening toward the planet. It streaks into the atmosphere as Spock and Christine watch, adrift, holding hands in orbit as I Will Follow You Into the Dark by Death Cab for Cutie swells up dramatically. The crazy plan works, and the saucer knocks out the jamming tower. The Enterprise hops into action, beaming all the survivors aboard, but not so fast. Looks like the Gorn were hopping to it as well, beaming up half the survivors before the Enterprise could, and La'an, Mabinga, Kirk, and Ortegas are among the captured. Also, Batel is a Gorn egg sac with like half a day before she goes all chestbuster, and an armada of Gorn fighters descend on the Enterprise, guns blazing. See you next season!
To be continued.
Yep.
Bum, bum, bum.
High drama.
Wow. Thank you for that, Christopher DeFilippis.
Yes.
That is exciting. I have now watched this episode like 5 times in the
A
past
lot going
2
on.
weeks.
Lot going on, right?
Yes. Ah, man. Yeah, why was Spock the only one able to do it? Maybe high levels of radiation?
You know
I
what?
have no idea.
That was like the only really because show moment in this
Mm.
episode for me. I mean, but
It
we
it
should,
was obvious he wanted to go because Christine.
yeah, I mean, 100%.
Mhm.
100%. So he came up with some kind of fakakta logic that it was only him that could do it. And number one is like, yeah, I see what you're doing there. It's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead, Spocky.
Mhm.
Spocky Poo.
That being said, I love the shot where they were coming out of the saucer section as it was crashing. I never first impressions, Christopher DeFilippis. What do you think of this episode?
Right, already getting ahead.
Yeah, already jumping ahead of myself.
I mean, amazing episode. Just really good
Mhm.
episode of Strange New Worlds. It's turned Star Trek into more of, an action shoot 'em up, which is
Yeah.
it's good for a season finale
Mhm.
because it brings you some immediate action. It brings you, I guess, a little bit more of the Gorn, which they set up earlier in the series. So it's kind of a payoff in that way. And a lot of, despite all of that, a lot of really good character beats. How about you?
Yeah, I really liked it. It was actiony. It was like if they did maybe a Strange New Worlds motion picture kind of thing, like that's what they would go for, I think. So it was a very good part 1 of a 2-parter. I kind of got a little mad at it eventually because it just took so long. This took too long to get resolved, but it's outside their control with there's pandemics and strikes and all this stuff. So I don't blame anybody except just timing. But overall, just the episode by itself, it's fun, and we get to meet Scotty, and so I popped really hard for that. I mean, I love Scotty.
Yeah. I think that the actor that they got for Scotty was a good casting choice. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. But before we do, we want to hear what you think of Hegemony Part 1. You can do so right here on the YouTube channel, right down there. Just comment.
Right
Just
down
hit the
below.
comment button. and follow us while you're
Do it
there.
now.
Do it now. Do it. What are you waiting for? Do
Do
it.
it now.
You
Do
can
it.
also support us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Treksploration. You can hit us up on Instagram at Treksploration Pod. You can Blue Sky at
Blue sky,
Treksploration.
smile at me.
It's Treksploration.bluesky.social. You can do a TikTok dance
Dot
at
something.
Treksploration. You can email us, treksplorationpod@gmail.com. Send us all of your destroyed pieces of the Cayuga to P.O. Box 542, Bayport, New York, 11705. Somebody's got to have access to that somewhere.
Yeah,
P.O.
somewhere.
Box 542, Bayport, New York, 11705.
Some lucky Canadian.
And Albie's going to put a QR code on the screen, like right now, or maybe it's below. I'm not really sure how that works. It's all technical stuff, but you can PayPal us a one-time donation if you'd like. That would be
Yeah.
fantastic. You can also do a one-time thing at Buy Me a Coffee. That's
Willard did.
buymeacoffee.com/Treksploration, just like the omnipotent Willard
The
did.
omnipotent Willard.
So please check all of that stuff out. And there are different levels of support over on the Patreon site. That's patreon.com/Treksploration. And I want to mention that we have a new patron. Just came through this. This is going to be all out of order. On the next episode, we're not going to mention this new patron because he
Nope.
wasn't a patron then. But,
Yes.
you know,
You
we're
gotta think
living.
fourth dimensionally.
Exactly. We're living in a fourth dimensional world, and I am a fourth dimensional girl. Thank you to our good friend of the show, Rick Tatro, for
Ooh.
supporting us. He is now our latest cadet. So we have Cadet Rick on the bridge. Maybe
Welcome aboard.
we'll give him Wesley's rainbow unitard. What do you think?
There you go.
So,
Welcome
so thank you
aboard.
to Rick for being on board, and the omnipotent Willard,
The
and
omnipotent Willard.
joins the rest of our crew of intrepid Treksplorers. That includes our other cadet, Listen Linda, how you doing? Our lieutenant commanders, Scott Seligman and Cosplay Dad, and of course, our esteemed Captain Charles from Texas, Captain on the
Captain
bridge.
Charles.
So thank you all so much for your support, your continued support of Treksploration. I feel like with this new season of Strange New Worlds and sort of the new, I guess, legitimacy that getting screeners gives us, I feel like we're just getting started here. I feel like
Yeah, I think we're official nerds. I mean,
right?
I don't know how much more of a nerd you can get
Right? I mean,
than having Star Trek screeners.
it's funny because I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
When you told me that we got the screeners, I was just like gobsmacked. Meanwhile, we had all the screeners to all the Quantum Leap episodes.
Yeah.
And maybe I said this when
But we
yeah.
knew those people though.
We knew all the people. It
That
wasn't
helped.
like it wasn't like that big of a deal. Like when
Yeah.
you've spoken to Deborah Proud a million times like we have, you think, "Oh, of course
Lovely
they're going to
woman.
give us the screeners," because you
Yeah.
just get a little complacent. And also, I mean, there's like 2 Quantum Leap shows, and we were one of them. So it kind of made sense for them to give us
Yeah,
the
it
screen.
did.
There's only a gazillion Star Trek shows out there.
Yeah.
Despite my insistence that this is the only show on the internet where 2
We are the
middle-aged white
second best
guys
Star Trek podcast.
discuss Star Trek.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, it's a great thrill for us. We just want to thank the powers that be over at who does Star Trek now? Paramount, CBS,
Paramount, CBS. Yeah.
So thank you all, and thank you, Albie, because all of this is because of you. I mean,
Aw.
I'm at work all the time. I just look down at my feed, and Albie sends me a message like, "Oh, by the way, here's a link to screeners," and I'm like, "What?" I have
Yeah.
nothing to do with any of that. He's the engine behind all of this.
It's very exciting, very exciting. I think we made it. Looks like we made it.
Looks like tomatoes. That's how we sing it in this house. I don't know why.
Concrete jungle tomato. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Like, the people over there at Paramount were just very nice and said sure. And like I tried before. I've been trying since Discovery Days, since we started the podcast, but you know, it finally just worked. So
Yeah.
yay.
All right, maybe we just had enough contents out there where they knew that we were on a fly-by-night.
Maybe.
So
Yeah, just trying to scam them or something. Or maybe they were just like, it's getting canceled in a season and a half anyway. I
yeah,
don't know.
you can look at it half glass empty, half glass full, or as
Yeah.
you just said, the glass just spilled on our shoes. Just give it to anybody.
But
you know.
we'll have what, Starfleet Academy coming too, and anything else that comes along. Might be a while. I don't know if you've heard the latest news.
No, is there any news to import? I know this is where you like to
I
give.
think from what I'm hearing, Kurtzman's out in the middle of 26, which is why Strange New Worlds is ending halfway through the season, because that's kind of when his contract ends or whatever.
Okay.
But, and then Skydance is gonna be doing, Star Trek from now on, which is the JJ people, I
And that's
believe.
if the merger goes through, right?
I think
Because
it
they're
did because
trying
they
to
paid the bribe.
I gotcha, yeah, they had to do it, huh?
So yeah, so we'll see. But Akiva Goldsman, which is pretty much the showrunner for this show, the guy in charge, he might stick around. So I'm excited for that because he knows what he's doing.
Well, at least now you know if you wanna get anything done, you can just go through President Open Palm and,
Yep,
yeah,
exactly.
maybe
So,
anyway.
but we'll get more Star Trek, so that's a good
Yeah,
thing, I guess.
so that's good, that's
Not a great
good.
way to do it, but when you live in an alternate timeline, that's what you got to do.
So, speaking of alternate timelines, wow, I did not know that Star Trek and, the Alien universes were one and the same because, oh my god. Is this xenomorphs? Is this morphification of the Gorn? I mean,
Definitely. We saw a little bit of it. What is it, Hemmer? When Hemmer got sprayed.
yeah, yeah. So we knew that he was gonna be busting out with egg sacs at
Yeah,
any
but
given time.
this is very scary because it's the captain's girlfriend. It's Marie Batel. I love her. I don't want her to
Yeah.
die. I think she's gonna die. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's in a bad way. I'm just I
She's with
guess
Gorn.
they have 2 T-shirts. She's with Gorn, Gorn's with me, alright, with the arrows pointing or
If
whatever,
this
I
was
don't
back in the '60s, she'd have to carry like a salad bowl in front of her arm to hide the fact that she's with Gorn.
I think they still do that actually.
Do they? Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know, just put her behind a desk, you know? Put her in a big trench coat,
Yep, bigger
right?
clothes, bigger clothes.
But, we haven't, again, had really any chance before this to discuss Strange New Worlds, and one of the biggest changes to the original canon that the show has introduced is just how badass they've made the Gorn, just how much they've changed the Gorn to incorporate not just danger and blood and just this implacable foe, but all the body horror that you might be able to think of. And it reminds me of Ron Moore at one point saying Star Trek can be anything you want it to be. You
Mhm.
just have to write it correctly. Where do you stand on how they've revamped the Gorn?
I like it because you need like an enemy. You need like the Borg was before it got like too boring. Before like they had personalities and queens and kings and knights and rooks. Um, but it's always bothers me because I don't see how these monsters can use the technology they have. Like, for example, like just watching the thing, I laughed because the Gorn sent an image. They didn't send a message like "stay
Mm,
away," but they sent an image. So one of the Gorn at least is like a graphic designer that made that demarcation line little map that they sent.
mm.
How does a Gorn grow up to be a graphic designer?
I just like how does a Klingon grow up to be a chef?
Yeah,
It's one of the lingering problems of the Star Trek tendency towards monocultures. All Klingons are warriors. All Romulans are apparently duplicitous senators. All all Ferengi are capitalists. It's just because it's where the allegory or the allegorical bent of Star Trek in the original series clashes up hard against actual reality because
yeah,
planets aren't monocultures. And we posited or posed or set them up as monocultures so that we could tell some kind of parable through them as an allegory for greed or for war or for spying or whatever.
yeah.
But then when you set that up and then every interaction you have with that culture is based on that lone paradigm that was just set up for a one and done in the original series, you get problems like this. It's like, okay, we're giant space lizards in the original series that can barely move.
Hmm.
And now we're essentially on the Nostromo. Was
Yeah,
that the ship from Alien?
yeah.
A- but you still have to posit that they're this implacable foe and hard
Mhm.
to communicate with. So how does a Klingon, how does a warrior society get space travel? if they're so
Mhm.
busy killing each other? How does the stupid mirror universe function in any way at all?
In any way when they're all killing each other all the
Yeah,
time, yeah.
yeah. So I don't know that I have more problems with the fact that the Gorn just seem to be vicious beasts
Mm,
because it's just part and parcel of one of the lingering problems that Trek has had
mm.
since they've reinvented themselves for a modern audience.
I think we just gotta accept it and move forward. I think Akiva Goldsman is talking in the special features that I watched about how, they kind of promised the Gorn. They were talking about the Gorn. They introduced the Gorn are coming, and they mentioned different things with Christina Chong, her character, Laan, talked about her past with the Gorn. So, like, they
Mhm.
kept building the world that was different than the Gorn world we knew. And then eventually they had to pay it off, which is, I think, this is the episode, right?
Yeah, and how do we reconcile what we're seeing of these Gorn with what we saw on the planet somewhere in the vicinity of Cestus 3? I always was under the fallacy that it was on Cestus, but Cestus 3 was where the colony was attacked, and then
Ah,
Kirk and the Gorn leader get zapped off to Vasquez Rocks.
yes, Vasquez Rock. So maybe it was in California, right?
Yeah, maybe they were here on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thought I have is that someone was being racist on Kirk's crew and just saw a lizard person and thought it was the Gorn.
No, I think that they mentioned that it was the Gorn.
Like the guy with the microphone said, "I'm the Gorn."
Yeah, pretty
Does he?
much. I
Oh,
I
really?
don't know. I think it's pretty firmly established that they're the Gorn.
Okay, I
Yeah.
was hoping they made a mistake. They got to retcon it somehow, right? Maybe the Klingon thing. They
So
have
y
a
so your thing is
retrovirus
if nobody actually said no Gorn actually self-identified as
as
a
Gorn. They
Gorn.
just thought,
Right,
lizard people has got to be Gorn.
right, because we're still
Lizard
so
people.
traumatized by these people who are the real Gorn.
Right.
I don't know, did the guy in the toga and the silver bedsheet say that they were Gorn at the end?
I don't remember. I have to rewatch it. I should rewatch that
We
one,
should have
right?
rewatched
I've seen
Arena,
it like
huh?
20
I
times.
know, I mean, this like we think, "Why do we need to" oh, this is why we need to rewatch
Yeah,
Arena.
for research. But other than that, then just a reboot of the idea, and I'm here for it. I like the whole monster fighting the monster. It's just like, how do they get there? How do they operate the controls? You know, how do they build the spacesuit? That's hard to do, especially that articulated.
Yeah, that was really a cool look for that Gorn. I
Yeah,
mean, having them in the spacesuit was, I think, one of the best visual sequences. I mean, say what you will about the the efficacy of this Gorn matching up with the Gorn in the original series. These Gorn, they're freaking cool. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, for all the pew pews and all the horror, they really deliver with these. They're scary monsters, and that's something that Trek I don't think does well. I mean, name a scary monster besides the Borg, but with the Borg, you could even beam onto their dumb ship and walk
the
around with
Ferengi,
impunity. Yeah, the
the
Borg.
Ferengi.
But name another species that was so wholly inhuman and so terrifying. So such an active threat. I guess you might say the Horta, but the
Yeah,
Horta was just
before we
misunderstood.
understood them. Yeah,
Right. And maybe the blob that killed Tasha,
yeah.
you
Armis.
know? Arca, yeah, the whatever this the tar monster.
Yeah,
I
Tar
mean that
Monster.
but have we ever seen a foe like this in
Well,
Star
that's the
Trek?
problem with space travel and fighting aliens that are monsters. How do they get in space? I think Alien handled it well because they were a weapon. They were like pulled off their planet. I believe they were pulled off their planet and sent to other planets as weapons. Right?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I saw Prometheus, and I'm
I
not
didn't
really sure what
understand
they
it.
were trying to do with that.
Yeah. Uh,
And I haven't really watched any of the Alien stuff
but
since.
I
So
think the space jockey, those were the aliens that brought the xenomorphs, right? Or did the xenomorphs kill them too? I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I just thought that the guy got face hugged and
He might have.
That's what happened, and then they in
And
Aliens, evil Paul Reiser wanted to weaponize
yeah,
them,
Paul
and
Reiser.
that's why he locked
He's
them
pretty
on the
evil.
planet, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he had no Jamie at that point to temper his attitude, and anyway, going to deep mad about you cuts here on
Yeah.
Treksploration.
Gotta love Mad About You. Ursula. I'm a big Ursula fan.
So, yeah, that's part of the Friends universe.
Yes, isn't that
So,
crazy?
yeah, you're probably more versed in Mad About You than anybody watching currently because you just did a complete Friends rewatch with Rennie?
Complete Friends rewatch. It was amazing. We bought the Blu-ray set, and then as soon as we, I think we were getting towards season 9 or 10, then they came out with the 4Ks. I'm like, I just bought it on Blu-ray, but I
Cool.
don't think I'm gonna go through it away go through it again anytime soon.
Well, yeah, I mean, how does it hold up? I guess seeing it
I
freshly
I
through
like it.
Rennie's eyes.
She loved it. She wanted everything. We played Friends Monopoly last week.
Okay. Alright. I guess she's
Yeah.
sort of at the age too where it's still I don't know. I've seen a few episodes since and I don't think it's aged very well, but I feel that way about Scrubs too. I've watched some
Mm.
episodes of Scrubs lately, and I was just like, "How did I like this show?"
Rennie's at that age, which is 12, almost 13, where anything she gets into, she's gonna love forever, kind of thing, like us in Back to the Future.
Right. I guess you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, so at least she's watching the classics. I don't know.
I'm just hoping that when younger viewers like Rennie see this version of the Gorn and then maybe eventually go on to see the original series episode Arena, they don't get some kind of whiplash. Like, "Wait,
Mm.
that's the who? Who's that?" So, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, for all when all is said and done, I think it's a positive addition to the universe. I think that, if you're going to have something new in Trek, which I don't think we've had before, it is not just a relentlessly implacable foe, but like a horrifically scary implacable foe. And yeah, and the Borg did that for Next Gen. I think this is doing that for Strange New Worlds.
I like the new perspective you just gave me saying that because we're thinking like old guys who grew up with that episode Arena and that Gorn, and that was our Gorn. But
Right,
now this is all new Gorn. But actually, this is a Gorn, and that's just an old Gorn in one episode.
right.
So
Hashtag
if we
not my
look at it
Gorn.
that way, we shouldn't have to worry about it, right?
I
And that
mean,
commercial.
I'm just gonna say this: if you're a Star Trek fan still worrying about weird continuity glitches at this point between the original series and New Trek, you've either punched out long ago or you've gone completely insane because there's just really no reconciling the two.
No,
You
and
know?
I think we can admit now that Stranger Worlds is in an alternate timeline from like the Berman Bragaverse. You don't think
No,
so?
no. Well, I mean, because we know
Well,
that TOS is firmly in the Berman Bragaverse because we had Trials and Tribulations.
mhm.
And then we see at I think it was the first episode. No, it was when they went back to Talos 4 and they met um I want to say Weena, but that's the time machine. Vina.
Vina.
They met Vina again. And at the
Yes,
end of that episode, there's a picture of Pike and April in the velour TOS shirts. Actually the beige ones, I think,
and it's
from
the
the
actual
pilot.
actors or no?
It's the action it's well, it's Anson. It's Anson and, Uncle Phil who plays April, and the guy who plays
Ah,
April plays Uncle Phil on the Bel Air reboot.
yeah,
Yeah, I forget his name. He's
I
probably
think it was
right
a
here in
Klingon
the
too.
it's probably down here somewhere. Adrian Holmes, Adrian Holmes. So
Well,
it's Adrian and Anson together
but
in those uniforms from the cage, and they even played previously on Star Trek, and we saw
they did,
bits and pieces from the
but
cage.
the Discovery Klingons in the animated Lower Decks.
You know what? Mike McMahon came on and said, "No, that doesn't mean that they're from a different
Oh,
universe." He just said
okay.
that everything was changing. I think that he said that, and then he said, "Wink."
Yeah. So I'm here for it. I like the stories they're telling, Akiva is telling, and I like this episode. It's different to see the characters like this in like war mode. I like how it starts out with the backlot town and how they kind of just called it out. So we wouldn't make fun of it that much, I think. They're just
Yeah.
like it's made to look like the Midwest. It's made to look like Andy Griffith. It's made to look like a backlot.
Well, it's funny because that to me is like one of the things that you hear about a lot are, oh, we have these colonies. This one's based on Ireland. This one's based on an amusement park. This one's based on ancient Rome. This one's based on Cornpone, America in the 50s. So it's kind of nice to see these colonies set up and to go visit them. We rarely get to do that in the original series. I think the one with the spores that made Spock cry
Yeah.
uh was who was that was it was help me help me
Uh,
Charles Bronson's girlfriend
oh, I
was
don't
in that,
know. I don't
and he
remember her
was on
name.
set the entire time
The
watching
blonde. Oh,
that
was he?
Nimoy. Yeah,
I didn't
it
know
was
that.
Spock's love interest in the episode. Uh,
Yeah,
I want to
that
say
part I
Mariette
knew.
Hartley, but that's not it.
Something
That's
different,
Mr.
yeah.
Raytaz, Mariette Hartley.
But I love the feeling of that, small American town, 'cause you haven't seen that before, I think, in Star Trek. Kind of, but more it was like Gangsterland Chicago,
Or
they
Miri,
did different things.
yeah,
Yeah,
Miri.
Miri a little bit,
It's
yeah.
kind of wrecked town, and of course, City on the Edge of Forever. Although that was supposed to
Yeah.
be New York.
Yeah, it all looked
Yeah,
like kind of New York. This looked more like a Midwest thing or
yeah.
Arizona, maybe. I don't know.
So, I mean, do you think that they've gotten to the point where they hear me out here? Well, no, see, they don't have holodecks yet. So now maybe they don't do that much anymore because if they have a fetish about like the 1950s, you can just do it like Tom did and like create a 1950s holodeck program where you're working on your muscle car in the driveway and then you watch Soupy Sales with Balana as you're eating popcorn on a 3-inch cathode ray screen. They don't have that yet. Do you think that the advent of holotechnology, like there's an inverse sine curve, or I don't know, that's math. I don't know what that is, but
Yeah,
like one goes down as the other one goes up. Like, so we
yeah,
don't have like these weird Irish planets colonies anymore because,
because you don't need to go LARPing there because
right,
you
you
can
can
do
go
that in the
LARPing
holodeck.
on the holodeck. So,
Right.
and then you could
Uh,
go back to replicators and space drives and I
yeah,
don't
and
know.
just make everything future looking. But things can only look futuristic for so long until they look normal, right?
It always looks normal to me, but I'm living in the moment. I'm not living fourth dimensionally.
But so many things I'm fascinated with about living in our time,
Straight edge.
kids today just grew up with it, and that's their
Oh,
thing.
I mean, the fact that we have little computers that we just hold on to that give us the
Mhm.
time, it gives us literally the time of day. There, it's 12:17. Um, but
Wow, it's getting late.
yeah, the fact that we have stuff like this, we just take it for granted. But I remember
Mhm.
as a kid in the 70s thinking, oh my God, imagine if you could watch any show you wanted to at any time. And now we just take it for granted. Yeah, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah.
It's
Too much choice is no choice. It's very, it's like overwhelming.
That's true, and, sometimes I'm just, like, wasting my time on Instagram, going through reels or crap like that, and I'm just thinking, I have the entire world dictionary, encyclopedia, everything you could ever want to look up here in the palm of my hand, and I force myself to put this down so I don't waste time, and I'll, like, take a book out of the library digitally and read instead of scroll
That's
because
nice.
but I but that's what I'm saying, now we take this for granted so much that it all seems normal. And it's just like it's this thing that you wished and hoped and thought was impossible 50 years ago is now just like almost a negative in your life. You got to put it
Yeah, you
away.
kind of want to go back to a dumb phone just so you get off that adrenaline
I've said this before and I'll
addiction.
say it again. When I'm done with my current job, I hope to be done working. I mean, it's going to be a number of years, a good number of years, but the first thing I'm going to do is go down to the Atlantic Ocean and take whatever phone I have and throw it as hard as I can into the waves. The fish will survive. Don't at me. But anyway, I don't know how we got on this, but
Because Captain Batel and Captain Pike are FaceTiming. That was
okay.
kind of new, right? There's not a lot of FaceTiming in the original series or next gen.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did that. Sure. I mean, Aura would
Yeah.
call her from the bridge and they'd have her on the screen in the conference room.
Mhm.
So, but I think next gen they were always
I
doing
like I
FaceTiming.
like the relationship. Do you like their relationship?
I do. I do. I kind of like Battelle better than I did in the few instances that we saw her before this. Because she didn't have much to do. She was always there. It was always about Pike. when she was around, it was either to introduce some kind of complication or she always existed as a tool to help tell his story. Even in the musical episode, it's just like, "This is a private conversation." It's just it's for a gag, we get it, but you don't really get much of Batel until you get this episode, and you actually see her as, like a good captain, competent captain, kept as many people as she could alive on that planet, and we had a tendency back on that Star Trek podcast, whenever she came on, we called her Captain Girlfriend,
Mhm.
and I was thinking about it, and when I was writing I said, "I can't call her," because she is like an actor here, like, she is part of she drives the story forward. That's why, to me, like, Pike becomes Captain Boyfriend in
Yeah.
this episode, because Batel gets a real chance to shine in this one, and I'm so happy that they gave the actress the opportunity to do this. Now, we don't know if she's gonna live. I mean, she's completely all, egg-sacked out,
Hemmer
but
didn't, so I don't
right?
know. There's no, clues on IMDb, so,
Yeah,
no one
so
knows.
who can say? I mean, I hope that we don't fridge her just
Yeah,
so
like
that
Frozen
Pike
for years? That would
right,
suck because Pike's only got a
or
little bit of time left, right?
I guess you don't know what I mean by the word fridge, do you?
Oh,
It
as in f yeah.
as it well, just for anybody out there who might not know the reference, my favorite, comic book, Green Lantern, and my favorite Green Lantern where is he? Come on, come on. So Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern. The end of his first arc as Green Lantern, after they introduced him as, the Emerald Ring Bearer, it ends with him coming home and finding his girlfriend chopped up and put in the refrigerator.
Well, that's not
And
good.
and
What's in
many,
the box?
many, many people got up in arms about that, because it's just like, yet again, a female is in the plot just to serve for the advancement of a male character. In this case, she's murdered so that he can go through some kind of crisis of faith or whatever. So there has been a term now that's invented as a shorthand for that, saying fridging this character.
Ah.
So you do this to females in a plot just to spur on male pain or male story or male motivation or whatever.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Yeah, so I think that the sensibility in Star Trek, the current iteration of Star Trek, has been much more inclusive in
Mhm,
that. I don't think that they're gonna fridge Marie. If
mhm.
they do, that would be a massive step back. They would definitely do it on the original series.
Well, yeah, now I'm kinda scared because maybe that's why the relationship is going so well, just to pull it out from under us. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
when
they
we
do that, don't they?
They do.
Those
When
sons
we
of
first met
bitches.
her, Pike was going through the whole, like, dealing with the fact that he knows when and how
Right.
his life is gonna almost end, he's very distant with, Patel, and I had just assumed at the time they were casual friends, but maybe she was just, like, being there for him, giving him space while he was dealing with this, looking back at it.
I mean, it could be, and
But now he's, like, all lovey-dovey with her, which I love.
yeah, he really wants to at least whatever they have to make sure that it's something that lasts for him,
Yeah,
which I think is cool. I think it also helps that they made her a captain so that you didn't have to explain her absence. You didn't have to explain why they only talk once in a while. I mean, she's out
yeah,
there busy. She's out there on missions just like he is.
mhm, and she seems
So
like a good captain.
yeah, I mean, until she gets her ship destroyed, but hey.
Well, have you ever seen a ship destroyed? I was saying that earlier, like that in Star Trek
Well,
before,
like
where
you
it's
mean
just like,
like just debris adrift.
yeah, just a debris field, and like maybe just highly detailed. So I think of it more because I think next gen, the things were like blowing up ships and stuff,
Like
but we
going
heard about it
through
more than
like
saw it.
yeah, I think we didn't see it much. I think the closest we came in the original series was the Defiant after it got kind of burned out by the windsock by the Doomsday
Yeah, the
machine.
planet eater thing.
Yeah, yeah, Doomsday, Planet Eater,
The
Captain William Wyndon, Decker.
Decker.
I always wondered if canonically he was
Those
Decker's
little
dad.
corn things you stick on the end of your fingers. What are those called?
As the writer, once he saw it, I forget who wrote the episode, when they wrote what the Doomsday Machine was gonna look like, it was supposed to be like this technological nightmare with all antenna and stuff hanging off of it, and when they finally got to the original design, he said, "What is this? It looks like a windsock dipped in cement," and I think that's
Oh
exactly
yeah,
what
it
it was.
does. It does.
So
Was it actually the prop? I don't know. I think, Michael and Denise Okuda were talking about that on Trek Culture. I think I sent you the link. Not sure, but they actually talk about that, how it's so much different than it was originally envisioned.
Right,
And
right.
when they were gonna do the remastered, original series Blu-rays and the new CG stuff, they actually thought about going with the original design, but they said it's too far from what people know.
Yeah, and,
So they
I'm
stuck to
glad
something
glad they didn't,
similar.
keeps the fidelity of the original series. One thing they did
Mhm.
do was when they had the wreck of the Defiant, they made it a bit more, dynamic, and some of the shots are beautiful. It's just like the ship adrift and, like, asteroids are breaking off its hull and stuff, and I thought that was cool, but, I didn't see that. I you did send me the link, I did get it. I haven't seen that. I'm glad that Sean was able to get them. I mean, that's
Yeah.
always a great get to speak to the Okudas. Who knows Trek better than
Yeah,
they?
they're always great,
Yeah.
great on the Moon Show. They talk a little bit about that too.
Oh,
So,
awesome. Oh, I'm
yeah.
definitely gonna watch
So
them
that's
now.
one of the reasons I sent it to you too, because I know you like, what's it called?
For All Mankind on
For All
Apple TV.
Mankind. I love it too, but what is it, 3 years between seasons
Yeah,
all the time?
it's like this, it's
It's like this. Ugh. You gotta literally live a long time to see a whole show now. It's ridiculous.
Well, the good thing about moon shows, we call it moon show because that's what, my friend Neek called it, and, she started a podcast that she called Moon Show, a For All Mankind podcast, so that's why we call it Moon Show,
I'm hoping I
and,
can guest on it
yeah.
eventually.
Well, but the good thing about Moon Show is that every season takes place in a new decade, so they
Yeah.
always use kind of a time jump, and they'll have, like, a whole series of, like, fake news shorts that you can use to sort of immerse yourself in the world as it stands now, and then you rejoin the characters in this new iteration of the world.
We're pretty much caught up to real time, aren't we?
We're past real time at this point. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
I
so
think we
the
gotta be,
actual
yeah.
alternate timeline will be much better than we're currently in, I think,
Yeah,
right?
so, highly recommend if you don't have Apple TV, get it. Just get the trial so that you can
Yeah,
watch
For
Moon
All
Show and
Mankind,
then
Ronald D.
yeah.
Moore.
Is Ronald
Yeah.
D. Moore created, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So
So they talk about zombie films in this. I thought that was pretty funny, and Spock didn't quite know what that was.
yeah, I mean, I guess zombies are still a thing in the 24th century, or what is this actually the 23rd century at this point,
23rd.
right?
I
Yeah.
think they will be. The classics.
Well, I mean, if well, Enterprise is still so way far back that you would have much more of a chance of, say, like Tucker knowing what Night of the Living Dead is,
Yeah.
because 'cause they're still
Well,
watching,
they
like,
had movie night,
Frankenstein movies,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
they had movie night. So
Frankenstein is like the OG zombie anyway, I
yeah,
think that but
Mary Shelley.
yeah, just using that as I'm trying to remember the context in which she said it, but and Spock is just
Uh,
like, familiar with movies, yes, with zombies, no."
yeah, because they're hiding themselves in the garbage, like when you dress yourself
Oh,
up
that's
like a
right.
zombie to hide
Yep.
from the zombies.
Yeah, Zombie 101. That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
I was explaining that to Rennie. If things get so bad where we're at, we might have to dress up like a zombie to survive,
Yeah, well,
which would suck.
at least we have a playbook now.
Yes,
There
at
are whole
least we
movie
can.
franchises dedicated to surviving zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, so that's one of the options. So if you had to recommend a zombie movie to Spock, what would it be?
Oh my god, the greatest zombie movie ever made, Return of the Living Dead.
Well, that's a great one.
Yeah,
The '80s one, right?
yeah, I had to watch that about maybe 7,000 times in the course
I
of a year and a half. I mean,
I definitely watched parts of it many, many times.
yeah, no, I love, 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 and then of course the original Night of the Living Dead because
Night of
the
Living
ending
Dead's
the
good.
ending is just so, you know.
Yeah, it's a great
And
film.
then if I had to pick a third one, I would say the Zack Snyder remake of Dawn of the Dead with Ving Rhames.
Okay,
That is a great freaking movie, and that's
that's a
got
good
Matt
one.
Frewer in it, and he's not from New Jersey in this one.
Not stealing technology,
No,
bringing it
no.
back to New Jersey.
So yeah,
Interesting.
it turns out I'm a fan of zombie movies. Who'd have thought? How about you? If you had to recommend one zombie movie, what would it be for
Well,
Spock
the
Trek?
originals are great. I kind of like what's the one with Mila Jovovich in it?
Resident
Raccoon
Evil?
City. Yeah, Resident Evil. I like those.
I have never seen those because I always thought they were more video games than zombies.
They're based on a video game, but
Right.
the movies are zombie movies. And I was gonna recommend Sinners, but then I remembered that it's a vampire movie. But
Spoilers, I haven't seen it yet. John Irons is rolling over in his grave. He's
oh,
not dead, but,
well, it's in the preview and in the first 2 minutes of the movie, so I don't think I spoiled it.
okay, alright. I
Okay.
haven't seen it yet. I was just told to go see it because it's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's amazing. It's probably the film
Yeah.
of the year. Probably gonna win the Oscar. But like the vampires in that are kind of like zombies almost, or werewolves. It's that whole thing.
Okay. You know, zombies
Yeah.
and werewolves are so similar.
Well, they're trying to get in and bite you.
You
So,
wouldn't you wouldn't
similar.
make a good hunter. You would not last 5 minutes on Supernatural.
Uh,
You
uh, just
you
just
you don't bring a wooden stake to a werewolf fight is all I'm
silver
saying.
bullets, right? Here they have cryo grenades. I
Oh,
like Mbenga,
yeah. That
how he
was
said
really
it'll
cool.
kill anybody, really.
Yeah, yeah. I'm surprised that we didn't get more I guess because there was, like we've done this before with Mbinga. Seeing him by in War Weary, like, having seen so much action during the Klingon War, we he didn't drop into that mode in this, and I'm wondering why. Maybe they just didn't have time to do it, plus they were survivors, so he had to still stay in doctor mode. I think it would have been neat, though, to give, Babs a little bit more to do with that, just like they're doing with Lon, but I guess maybe she had to take some of the oxygen out because her backstory really is where we get
Yeah.
all of the Gorn stuff so far, so we have to kinda stick with her and her PTSD about that a little bit.
Yeah, Mbenga's more Klingons, right?
Yeah, but I just figure, you know, once you're in a war zone, you're in a war zone, so he
Yeah, but
might slip into something, right?
he's like Doctor Murder. He's all for murdering people, and enemies and killing them right away. He's a doctor like for his people. So there's that duality there. I definitely don't think he took the Hippocratic oath.
So you're saying he's no Phlox?
Well, yeah, he's well, like he's definitely into wanting to kill Gorn, and then even Sam Kirk is saying he's ready to kill Gorn. Like they're all ready to kill the Gorn
Do you think they
without
do
even
that
question.
maybe did they make the Gorn this monstrous so that you could have the enlightened Starfleet personnel kill them with some impunity? Because they did make a nod here, and I kinda really liked this. It's when after Batel and Captain Boyfriend are back together, and they're sitting in that diner, and she's exhausted, and he said something to the effect of, "If we could just learn to understand them, maybe we wouldn't have to go through this." And that to me is a nod to Picard. That to me is a nod to the ideal of the Federation that Roddenberry had in his grand vision, or anyway that he basically retconned into his grand vision as he became the great bird of the galaxy and became his own biggest fan. Um, Putting that in there was at least a nod to the sensibility I think that a lot of Trekkies look for in their Star Trek, but you can still have, "Okay, we're just gonna go in guns blazing," because it's like trying to reason with a horde of goblins, like, there's just no sense in trying.
Do you think eventually that they will somehow? Well, I guess we know that they don't because in the original series they're still the Gorn. But I mean, like past that, do we know what happened in like the 38th century with discovery with the Gorn?
No, no, I don't know. I mean, if you look on the back of a bridge, maybe there's a Gorn serving somewhere, because eventually the Federation conquers all. I mean, the Federation is worse than the Borg Collective.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
they're very missionary esque.
yeah, yeah, a little proselytizing. But again, that's one of the biggest issues I have with next gen. So we've
Mhm.
discussed all this, and can we understand monsters? I mean, it's like McCoy says, how come anything that we don't understand is called a thing?
Thing, yeah.
What, where does that line end? Like when you have a species that seems hell bent on murdering you, they don't care to understand you. You're either egg sacs or in the way. The end.
Yeah,
So
like would
how
we?
do you reconcile the two? That's why I love DS9 because DS9 kind of turned all that on its head. What if the people you're dealing with don't care about Federation ideals? Where does that leave you?
I think that's basically what La'an was saying to Pike. No,
It's
I
it's just a
I
very
can't resolve it.
yeah, it's a very interesting question that they don't
Mhm.
raise enough in Star Trek, in my opinion. You
To
know,
me, they're like piranha. You can't like reason with piranha. You can't jump in the water and be like, "Hey guys."
yeah, it's something I think that Enterprise did pretty well too, because Archer starts out as this wide-eyed explorer,
Mhm.
and by the end of the series, he's just like this jaded fighter because the big bad universe ate him alive. So I think that that's a much more realistic take on this because you're going to be dealing with people who have their own interests.
Well, and Benga's been through everything. Laan's been through everything, and I think Pike, once he goes through this, especially if he loses Batel, he's gonna be that guy too, where he's gonna shoot first and not even think about it.
Well, it's funny though, because when we think about Pike, we have convenient plot armor for him. We know
Yeah.
that nothing can really happen to him until he gets all melty faced.
What if it does?
But wow, and
That'd be
then he'll
cool.
have to come back in the Monster Maroon again and put right what once went wrong, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be Sam leaping into Archer, leaping into Monster Maroon. I don't know,
I'd
that
watch
would
that.
be I think then most of fandom would just break. Like, our heads would all explode, especially since they made such a point out of honoring that
Yeah, that would
legacy.
make people mad.
Yeah.
It'd
But
have to be done in a really well done way.
with that being said, it's amazing to me how much tension we can get out of these episodes when you consider that most of the characters we're seeing are legacy characters that we know can't die. And they just upped that now with introducing Scotty. So we have yet another character who we know is going to live a long, long, healthy, successful life in the Federation, put into these dire circumstances. When you look at it now, the only people that are really on the board are La'an, maybe number 1, because the stuff that she did was all before this in the
Yeah, we don't
cage.
know what happens to
We don't
her.
have as a number 1, and who else? I mean, you have Allura,
Um,
you have Pike, you have Scotty, you have Spock, you have Chapel. They
and the one
can't
that
they
flies the ship,
and Ortegas, yeah, Ortegas can
Ortega's.
maybe Ortegas can and if she dies, would we even miss her? Because all she does is fly the ship.
I would. I'm starting to watching this episode 5 times, I'm starting to like her a lot
But again, they
more.
don't give her anything. "Erica, you were born to do this." "Yeah, I know. I did it
You're
so many times
born
during
to
the
fly.
war because that's what I do. I fly the ship." It's like, "Do you have a family? What's your favorite color?" You know, do you it's like,
She's allergic to pineapple.
"No, that was Malcolm."
Oh,
"Oh, no."
darn, darn. I fear 'cause we've talked about this before, but I fear that they're gonna make us love these characters and just take them away from us.
Yeah, well, you
And
know,
it would suck in the like the because we're only getting the 6 episodes of season 5. Like in episode 5 of season 5, they have a landing party and it's all the people that we didn't know before.
right, right.
You're
How come
like,
we never heard of them before?
no,
Right.
don't go. I don't
These are
know.
people that we wanna remember too, not like Burnham.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, it's but again, it's funny to me how they keep finding ways to make this exciting and still seem high stakes when we know that essentially the only people that can die are NPCs. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
I'm I love Spock, I love Pike, I love Kirk. Of course, it goes without saying. So like I can't say my favorite character is Spock on the show, really, because Spock is one of my favorite characters in all of Star Trek. But I'm really starting to like La'an and Ortegas and these people, that I haven't met before Stranger Worlds. I'm really starting to get emotionally attached, which is bad.
Well, no, I think well, yes, it's good and it can be it has the potential to be bad.
Yes, they could just get transferred, right?
Right.
Yeah,
It
that's
could
all.
happen. I
And then
mean,
we see him in Star Trek, 2 and a half, The Aftermath of Khan,
right?
you
Maybe it
know?
was Ortegas that flew David and Savick onto the Grissom from the Enterprise while it was en route
Could be. She
back
flies the ship.
from Genesis Planet
Yeah, I
because
gotta start looking at those old movies, see if
she's
she's
still
in there.
flying the ship.
Still flying the ship.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot more to talk about. We're gonna do a little bit of trivia and, future plans, and then give the ratings after the break. So, we'll do all the stuff we normally do after this break. We'll be right back. And we're back.
Howdy.
How was your yesterday? I'm gonna say it was pretty good. Mine was pretty good.
Oh my gosh. Yesterday it was quite the surprise. Mine was good because yours was good. So
Yes.
I'm just sitting in my backyard reading a book and making some corn on the barbecue, ready to put a burger on there. And I get a text from Albie with a Zoom link. And I'm like, are we recording today? Like, I just, what? I'm sitting back here. So I clicked on the link and boy, did an afternoon unfold for me after that, Albie. Explain to everybody what you had wrought.
Uh, Peter, our friend Peter, from Cobra Kai Companion and a bunch of Back to the Future things, and he's my co-host on Back to the Future, the animated series podcast. He invited me to be on the 40th anniversary celebration of Back to the Future, and we were on there for probably about 45 minutes. There was four of us, and then one of the his guests had to go, so there was only three of us. And I just know when I edit, I hate having three people because how do you do it right? Like visually. So I was like, "You want a fourth, Peter? I can ask Chris." He's like, "Yeah, do it. Call Chris." Right.
Yeah,
So then I sent you the text,
right.
and I kind of knew there was going to be a special guest, so I was hoping he would come on
You
because I was like,
devious fellow.
yeah, I was hoping he would come on. So that's why I kind of mentioned your name because I know how much you love Back to the Future Part Two. So you're just sitting there in your backyard making corn. You join a Zoom, and then what happens?
And then all of a sudden, the special guest comes on, and you somehow wrangled the actor who played George McFly in Back to the Future 2 and Back to the Future 3, the one who replaced Crispin Glover.
Jeffrey Wiseman, I think.
Jeffrey
Is that
Weissman,
right? Yep.
such a totally cool dude.
Yeah, alternate George McFly. How cool is that?
Crazy. It's just like I'm just sitting in my backyard and I'm just and even, I was kind of self-conscious because I just was literally holding up my phone like this with the camera. I had no mic, I had no earbuds in. You guys said I sounded fine. So I was like, okay, who cares? It's just they
Yeah,
want me on. It's gonna be another 20 minutes. And then all
yeah,
of a sudden you get this guest star, which for me is just like, holy crap.
yeah.
So yeah.
How about that? He made up, "How's Granddad's Little Pumpkin?" I always say that when I'm watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a link and maybe the QR code here where people can get to
Yeah.
it Albie, you're good at that stuff. Albie will do the
Yeah.
things where you need
Yeah,
to
look
do it
around,
so
it's
that you
here.
can see it. It'll be
Send it
around.
over to Peter's channel. It's, Podstalgic.
Podstalgic.
Yeah, so youtube.com/@podstalgic.
It's funny, I hadn't spoken to Peter since the early days of the Quantum Leap podcast, so it was nice to reconnect with Peter.
Yeah, he helped us
So,
out a lot, and then, of
yeah,
course, we did our own Back to the Future the Animated Series thing,
yeah.
which we're still working on, and the whole thing with that is it's every time, we do another episode, it's been double the amount of time, so it's like when you double a penny. So I think it's about time to do another one because 'cause it's been like 2 years. So, but it's always fun. We just jump in there and talk about a Back to the Future cartoon. But yeah, you got to talk to George McFly a little bit.
Yeah, a George McFly.
Hey, George McFly, and you were asking him questions, and it was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah. My basic question to him was, how was it to be basically upside down for the entire shoot?
Yeah,
So,
that seems dangerous the way they did it.
yeah. And, I don't really recall how much they used him in 3, if at all, maybe just towards the end when they're waving at the doorway
Yeah,
or something like that, yeah.
those shots.
So that's one of 3 George McFlys that we could potentially speak to at this point, because maybe a couple more because I don't know
Video
if
game.
the Broadway show as
Oh, the
well
Broadway
had a
show.
George, but I think that there was another George when I saw the traveling show. So there probably been, like, over a dozen George McFlys at this point.
The guy that we saw on Broadway
Mm.
nailed it. He was totally crispin.
And the guy that I saw on the traveling show did it really well as well. So
I guess you got to get it right.
I feel like if you're gonna have a role in back even beyond Biff, George is probably the best one to get because you can go as big as you want, and it's the most imitatable, not inimitable, but imitable, uh, imitable parts that you can do because he has such distinct quirks.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's a lot of fun, a lot of fun. So it was
Yeah,
great to
so
talk to Jeffrey. Wow, wow.
we did a couple hours talking about Back to the Future yesterday
Yeah,
on the 40th anniversary. So that was pretty cool.
cool for us.
God damn it, Chris.
What?
Oh, I just wanted to say that they say it in the episode.
Okay. God damn it,
Uh,
Chris.
yeah,
Someone's
because
talking to Pike
Christopher
that way.
Pike.
That sounds like
Yeah,
something that number
somebody
one
said
would
I
have
forget
said.
it, but I wrote it down, so I just wanted to say
No,
it.
it's probably Batel. It was probably Batel. It was Marie.
Probably.
So we haven't spoken much. I know that you say that you love him, but we haven't really spoken much about Spock's arc in this one. I mean, literally, it's Spock adrift because he's adrift about his whole relationship with Christine. As I said up at the top of the show, the fact that apparently, of course, Chapel is the lone survivor in the Cayuga
Well, now,
But
since they sent a ship to
exactly.
destroy
It's like,
the
did we get
transmitter
even any kind of nod or lip service to
with
trying to find other
not
survivors?
even a "woo, woo, 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 woo." He's like, "I got my girl. The ship can go."
Yeah, and the fact that, Spock is like, "No human can do this, only I can do this." Well, you're half human. I mean, why uh, again, I made
There's
fun of
there's
it
a
in
fat nerd dude
at the
ensign going, "What about
right, I can do it.
me?"
I'm the one who invented these boosters. I think I'm better.
Right?
No, shut up. Only I can do it.
I got Chapel. There's only one spacesuit. I got Chapel.
So, yeah,
So,
that being said, I thought it was pretty effective the way they did that, her being in the wreckage. It was super convenient timing in the vastness of space and that debris field that she just happened to look out the window with her flashlight to do some kind of Morse code just as Spock
yeah.
is flying by.
But the flashlight was kinda dying. Oh, I loved how she was acting like her hand was injured, her other hand,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I loved that, like, she was pounding on the window even though, no sound in space, and she would know that, but what would you do in that
Right,
situation?
right.
You would
It's yeah.
still pound on the window,
Right, yeah, that's just a
even though there
natural
was no hope.
reaction. Yep, yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I
so
thought
I love that whole thing.
yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, it's very plot convenient. It's sometimes there are demands that fiction has, and this is one of those demands, and you just have to fulfill it. You need that resolution. You need sort of that arc, and to have them meet up and to have him rescue her or her rescue him, or I think they kind of rescue each other
Yeah,
because that
they
Gorn was a lot to fight.
yeah,
So
they it
yeah,
definitely took 2 of them.
but the whole thing with the sort of zero G battle, I thought was good. The fact that she's trying to get a hold of that phaser and stretching out there and hooking her feet and all that.
Oh, that was
Very
it
effective
built
visual.
tension and it was exciting.
Yeah, very, very good. So, I mean, the part of the episode that I think we should have found the cringiest still turned out to be good because they put a kick-ass battle in there, a kick-ass fight, like
And
fisticuffs.
speaking of actors being hung from the rafters, the stuntman in that Gorn suit, space suit, was up there for like 8, 10 hours a day for a few days
Was it
while they were
Jeffrey?
filming that scene. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? It might have been Jeffrey. I
All right.
didn't ask him.
And again, the visuals in this. Have we
Oh,
ever been amongst the wreckage of a starship? You mentioned it before. You loved when they sent the ship on its way and they float out of the. I guess was that the bridge? I was
yeah, it
like
looked
it
like the
should have been.
bridge area where it would have been, yeah, where they were fighting.
Was did we ever figure out if the Cayuga was a Constitution class? I mean, it just had vaguely
It looked very
Federation.
similar.
Right? Saucer in the
I wouldn't
cells
know.
is I
We
don't
could
recall
get
seeing a
Doug
secondary
Drexler on and
hull.
ask him.
Yeah, maybe.
It
But,
was it was it was very destroyed, but it looked like they were going out that window that the Enterprise has, that dome window. And,
yeah,
they
the
definitely
top
look
dome, the bubble.
CG, but they look 98% real, and the only 2% was, like, how would they do that otherwise?
I got
But it
I
still
don't
was
even
emotional.
I barely notice CG at this point, so
So you think I love the line that Spock says that, "In the face of death, everything else is trivial," which is so true. I wish we really kept that in our hearts and minds all the time, and didn't let, like, the little things bother us.
I was trying to say that up at the top of the show when you asked me about traveling. I mean, it's something I never would have considered doing, but you have to think that we only have a finite amount of time on this earth, so any worries that you have. And however great the reasons are, something you just can't do, don't let that deter you if it's something that you really want to do because before you know it, you might not ever be able to do it again and you'll look back with regret. It's better
Mhm.
to live with a little bit of stress but have little regret. And yeah, this is a whole different podcast. But that one line can evoke so many different responses based on where you're at in your life, but it
Yeah.
resonates with us all.
Mhm.
So that's tricky, I think.
It really does.
Yeah,
And
speaking to the quote human condition end quote.
Yeah, it's good writing. I
Yeah.
hope those 2 crazy kids work out. I hope he doesn't throw soup at her or anything.
How was that palmik soup? I don't even know if we
It
know.
had to be, right? It would have to be.
Right? It couldn't be chicken noodle. That's why he threw it at her because she made him
It's
chicken
chicken
noodle.
noodle. He's
"There's
like, "I'm a
flesh in here."
vegetarian. I'm not back in time in a cave
Right,
somewhere with a hot
right.
chick.
You're
I'm
no
not gonna eat
Marriott
flesh and
Hartley.
enjoy it."
So, yeah, even the stuff that, we want Spock and Chapel to work. Again, we know in terms of legacy that they're not gonna get together, but there's so much that we haven't seen from these characters where if you wanted to embellish that storyline as much as you possibly could, I have no problem with that because
Yeah,
all
take
we
it all
know
the
is that
way.
Chapel is in love with Spock in the original series and he
Yep.
rebuffs her. That's all we know.
And she says that, are they alone?
I think it was when The Naked Now, maybe.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they're
or
alone
no,
in that
no, so The
scene, I
Naked
think.
Time, not The Naked Now.
The
The
naked
Naked
time,
Now
and
is the
she's like,
ripoff,
"But
yeah,
Mr. Spock, I love you,"
yeah.
and, something like that. I was thinking they could have their whole relationship and then get sat down and say, "Okay, you can't tell anybody. This never happened. We will deny the existence of this relationship."
Right, right, exactly, and, also, I'm marrying Roger Corby
Yep.
as a protective cover, right?
Yep, Corby.
He's
Yeah, there's rumors of Corby. I hear rumors.
Yeah, I mean, Dr. Corby, I mean, she mentions him,
Yeah,
fellowship in
that's
a
where she's
in
going,
previous
right?
episode. Yeah, she's
In
on her
this
way.
episode, that's where she's going.
I
She's
think the
catching a lift to
Cayuga
go
was gonna take her or something like that.
take her to
Yeah,
see Corby, yeah.
yeah, so, yeah, I mean, Corby's gonna be some kind of factor at some point now that we know that Chapel's whew, thank God Chapel survived. I had my doubts.
That would've been weird. It would that would've been cool though, like no, but if she didn't, but, like, but we know she did, but they don't know she did. Does you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
They
But,
can be worried they can be worried in universe, but we don't have to be worried on
yeah.
our couch.
I I have a question. I wanted to start a new thing, like, you know how we have different parts, because this episode actually inspired me. Like, what was your favorite shot of the episode? Because there were so many beautiful
Oh,
shots, like,
Jesus.
cinematography-wise,
Uh Wow.
thinking back.
I have to say my favorite shot of the episode coincides with probably my favorite part of the episode, and that's that Gorn hanging from the ceiling in that articulated spacesuit. I thought that that was just like, wow, that blew me away. How about you?
That was amazing. I got 2, the one we were talking about where, Spock and, Christine are coming out of the saucer section as the saucer's flying into the coming out of the saucer section as the saucer's flying into the atmosphere or
Yeah.
dropping into the atmosphere. That was beautiful. But the actual shot of the camera shot where they're like going over the booths in the diner as people are like trying to get some rest
Hmm.
and shelter. And it's just one long continuous shot that becomes like almost a dolly shot. It must
Yeah.
have been on some kind of robot arm or something. But I thought that was done really well.
And that was when Pike was lamenting, I wish we could understand them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. Good. I
Yeah.
think a lot of good stuff.
Good good use of the camera in this episode.
We forgot to just mention one thing. What did we think of Scotty? I know that we talked about it briefly up top, but
I love him. Love the new actor. Love the portrayal. Love the accent. Love the energy. He definitely has young Scotty energy. What do you think?
I think he's great too. I just hope that they throttle back on his accent a little bit because I did have to put on the closed captioning. Every
Oh,
time every
really?
time Mabinga or Scotty was speaking in this one, they were speaking fast, it was kinda low, and their accents can be so thick, it's very difficult for me to follow, and like Scotty, it's Jimmy doing his thing, but
Yeah.
this new guy,
Yeah. What is his name?
his name is Martin Quinn. And he's
Martin Quinn.
Scottish. He's a Scottish actor. So
Hmm.
I guess he can put on the brogue as thickly as he wants to. I mean, it's not as bad as like say Snatched, like a Guy Ritchie movie, but it's getting damn close.
Maybe I can understand it more. I don't know. I watch a lot of British television, and they have a lot of Scottish people on or Welsh people. I subscribe to the news network in Scotland specifically, Australia and Canada because I like to get
Okay,
what the world thinks, and so I hear a lot of
gotcha.
Scottish accents.
Well, I've read almost every novel but one by Irvine Welsh, and he's a Scottish author. So does that count?
Huh, yeah, sure.
They speak in
Well,
the
as long as you
vernacular
read
in
it in
those
your head in the
books.
accent.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Welshie.
Anyway, so I recommend Train Spotting, both the
Mm.
novel and the film adaptation.
I have the film on DivX. I can't watch it.
DivX.
It's a dead
You'll
format.
find a DivX player at one point.
Yeah.
If I know you, you'll
Yeah,
rebuild it.
well, it requires dialing out over a modem to a server that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, you'll
It's a
do it.
thing.
You'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out. I'm working on it with my Canadian friend Brent. You know Brent, right?
You're gonna go back in time,
Time.
a with
All
Brent.
right. So I think before we give our final thoughts and opinions, I got a couple questions for you.
Oh, you're gonna ask me? But you never gave
Uh,
me your episode crush.
well, that's the question.
Oh,
What did your episode crush?
episode crush. Um, if I had to do a crush on this one, it's tough. It's
It
tough
is.
because it's not that kind of episode.
No.
My episode crush is going to be to Pring because she wasn't
Was she
here.
in this episode?
Nope.
You just feel bad for her because
Uh,
Fox getting it on with
yes.
Chapel?
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna forego the crush part of this one.
Okay.
How about
I
you?
had 3 it shows you
Of
where my
course.
brain's at. I had 3 thoughts. Of course, Chapel and Ortegas because I'm really getting into her character, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes with her next. She's a little one note now, but I feel like, they keep focusing on her for a reason.
I don't know. She's a lot one note and
Yeah.
has been for 2 whole seasons.
And there's La'an, uh, but I have to say in this episode, I'm gonna go with Captain Patel, Marie Patel.
Captain
For some
Patel.
reason, she's just got that energy, like, if I were to pick a perfect partner, it would be that energy.
Okay.
That strong, confident, intelligent woman. So, that's my crush.
Gotcha.
What was your favorite part of the episode?
Well, Captain Patel. And it's the reason why I didn't want to relegate her to the male gaze in
Mhm.
this episode. That's why she's not my episode crush. She's the best
Okay.
part of the episode. She is the episode. And my favorite part of the episode, aside from the Gorn spacesuit, is when she faces down that compy, I mean Gorn, and she knows that it's not gonna hurt her because she knows she's been infected. Like, that was like, "Holy crap, what are you doing?" That was the most badass scene in the entire show, and the fact that she just has the courage and just wow. So yeah, no, 100 this was Marie Batel's episode.
Yeah, 100%. I think, she must have, before we see her, she must have had to face a Gorn while she was impregnated and found out that they weren't gonna attack her. I
Could
don't think
be.
she just risked it.
Or maybe
Uh,
she did, maybe she risked it.
she might have been knowing
Yeah.
she was gonna die in a day and a half anyway,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, yeah. So
Uh, that was a crazy moment for me. I remember when I first watched it, kinda like I was figuring out while Scotty and Pike were figuring out and looking at each other, and it was heartbreaking. It was very heartbreaking. It was a good scene. It's definitely her episode. She's a great actress. Apparently, she's the lead on another show that, Stacy covers on one of those shows.
okay.
Yeah. I
Stacey
had no
covers
idea.
some
She
wide-ranging
covers a
things.
lot, but
Yeah.
it's, I wanna say some kinda like Riverton Inn. I'm sure it's not that, but she's the lead on another show. So I
It's
might watch that show just because I'm really liking the actress.
the Corman Productions TV Talk podcast.
DVD deep dive,
Deep
Alice
dive.
Place.
Alice Plays
Uh,
Deep Dive TV
yeah,
Time podcast.
exactly. We even got the T-shirts.
Produced by Harvey Korman.
Yep. Harvey Korman's the best. He walks so slow and it's funny.
That's Tim Conway.
Oh, Harvey Korman's the other one that yells at Tim Conway.
He's
That's
Count to
right.
Money. Count to Money. Count to Timone.
All right. So I guess I like Tim Conway better. Mm.
Mm,
Sorry, Corman Productions. My favorite part of the episode, it's difficult. It's difficult. Probably the introduction of Scotty. If but the whole episode with Batel, the whole Batel storyline. So the whole thing is really good. I really enjoyed it. I really hope they do it service in part 2.
mm. I agree. I agree. I hope
I
that
think
we
I have
get
some
a
trivia
good
questions for you.
denouement. You're asking me?
I think I'm asking you this time.
All right.
Am I?
I
It
like it.
says
You ask
Albie
me.
asked Chris.
Okay. I
So
mean, did I? Yeah, I did edit that. So yes, it is your turn to ask me.
it is my turn. Okay, it's dark in here, so I'm gonna have to go towards the light, Carol Ann. Okay, ready?
There is peace and serenity in the light. That's my Zelda Rubinstein impersonation. Was it good? You couldn't even
In the
tell.
movie.
Close your eyes.
Yeah,
You
it's pretty
can't
good. I
tell.
like that. You never saw the
Wait a
movie?
second. This house is clean. There. Was that good too?
That was good.
It's like she's
The guy
back from
from,
beyond the grave.
what was that, Coach?
Coach
What
was
was the
in
name of
that.
that show? Yeah,
Coach was in that, and Coach is also on Young Sheldon. So
yeah.
there
I
you go.
love Poltergeist. Got you for 3 questions.
All right, bring it, Carol Ann.
All right. Man, I can't see. It's black text on blue. Okay, in the movie, The Search for Spock, what does Kirk discover Spock implanted in Dr. McCoy prior to dying? What?
Search for Spock? I don't know if I'm
Okay.
familiar with this
I think I
film.
read that wrong.
No, you didn't. I know the answer.
Okay. Yeah,
His Katra, his living spirit.
that's right.
With
The
everything
Katra,
that is not
the
of the
Vulcan
body.
concept of the soul.
Mm-hmm.
The Katra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got you for 3 questions. Play along at home. Let us know down below what your answers are. You got 1 right. You got 2 more left.
All right. Good thing I've seen that Search for Spock once or twice, huh?
What? Damn it. I need a little book reading light.
Get a flashlight.
I do, but it's my phone, and my phone's my backup camera.
Okay.
God damn it.
What happened to
All right,
those
I can do
glasses
this.
that had like the little side light on them?
Oh, yeah. They need batteries.
Okay.
Yep, batteries.
Okay.
Yeah. 3 questions. You
Take-
answered 1. You got
take
2
your
more
time,
to go.
it's
You got
okay.
1 right.
Uh,
What is the name of the Vulcan official who was to preside over Spock's wedding with T'Pring?
oh, what was the name of the like
Yeah,
her title
of
or
the
her actual
efficient.
name?
The name of the efficient.
Her name is
Efficient?
that's T'Pau.
T'Pow! Pow! You got it right. 2 out of
T'Pau.
3.
They bring T'Pau
One
into
more question.
Enterprise too. T'Pau.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. And
All
she
right,
was
I got
just
you
a
for 3
character.
questions. You answered
She
2
was just a
correctly. Play
character in a
along at
book I
home. Let
read.
us know below how many you got.
I got 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
2 out of 3 ain't bad, but we'll go for 3. Which Next Generation cast member directed The Offspring, beginning a directing career that ultimately includes several Star Trek films?
It's gotta be Frakesy.
It says Frakesy. You are
Yeah,
right.
Frakesy. There we go.
Jonathan Frakes.
Did you see the latest Frakesy art installation?
No.
How
I
does
did
he
not.
keep getting away with it? How do they know it's an authentic Frakesy? I just don't understand. What do they do?
Wow,
Did
3
they
out of
just
3? It's like you know what you're talking about.
did they just take a jackhammer and chisel out the side of the building that has the Frakesy art on it and hang it in a gallery somewhere? How does
They
that
must have.
work? Like, how do
How
you
does
buy
that
a
work?
Frakesy? Some bum is like peeing on it. I shouldn't say bum. That's not PC. This is Star Trek times.
Jonathan Frakes is directing an episode of the new season of Stranger Worlds.
Ah, I would be surprised if he wasn't.
Yes. His episodes are the best.
Are they?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to remember which ones he did. So maybe we'll discuss that during the omnibus roundtable.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
His episodes are always the best. He's got that energy, that just having fun. You
I
know?
think you just got a Riker bias.
Yeah, I might.
Yeah. You wake up
Don't-
with
don't-
morning Riker.
I have. It's been a while though, but I have. All right. Do you have a Trek and Tell?
I can't show my morning Riker on the camera. Oh, wait a minute.
No.
Let's see. I don't really. Let's see what I have to hand here. Do you want me
It's
to
hard for Stranger Worlds. You
Yeah.
can pick any Star Trek thing, really.
I mean,
I'm not going with Stranger Worlds.
Trek and Tell. Nope, don't have one. How about you?
All right, I got this little thing. Did I show this one before?
No. That looks like. Hang on, I gotta embiggen you. The complete first series. Is this all 3 seasons?
Is it the complete first season?
Oh, I
Season.
thought it said complete series, first
Oh,
series. Yeah.
No, there's 3 of these. I have 3 of them: yellow, a red, and a blue. I think.
I think it's gold.
They're the original DVD sets that came out. They were $100.
Wow.
I think a season.
And that's just SD, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's
But
groovy.
they come in this crazy package with this like little clamshell thing. I haven't opened this since I got my Blu-rays.
It's like Pac-Man.
Yeah, and it's got that. It's got a bonus disc of some sort.
Oh, they did a nice job on them.
Yeah, and It's got the slip cover. I mean, they know their audience, right?
I mean,
Like,
Jesus
the more
Christ, how
packaging, the
it's
better.
like how many steps you have to go through. It's like a Russian nesting doll.
Yes, but then you have the discs that come out like this.
Okay. All right.
So, there's Scotty.
There he is.
Hmm. Oh my.
Where's the one with the Uhura? Ah, there it is.
Woo!
All right.
Right there. So my
Alrighty.
episode crush for this DVD set is Uhura.
Cool.
Although we got Rand.
Oh, Rand, look
That's
at
pretty
that.
good.
That's a deep cut.
I didn't
Because you know what?
expect her
Because
on there.
No Chekhov in the first season. That's why.
I guess not, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, that's my little Trek and Tell. I have so many different home medias of Star Trek. I figured I just grab that because I don't really have a lot of Stranger World stuff.
Well, if they do come out with Strange New World stuff as the show goes on, I can think of the one person most likely to get it. So
Yeah.
you will eventually have Strange New World stuff, I'm guessing.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, I was looking the other day at all my Star Trek stuff, and I was like, if I didn't buy all this Star Trek stuff, if I was one of those minimalists that just did the streaming and I
Mhm.
was good, I could probably have a couple more years off. But instead, I buy Star Trek stuff. Damn it!
Oh, I mean, is it ever enough? Is it ever too much? That's what I wanna
No,
know. Because I know it's
I give
never
Paramount my
enough.
money, and they give it away for nefarious reasons. So
I gotta think that just wait a couple of years, you can get it all for $1.
that's true. Yeah, that does suck because I remember some of these DVDs I paid like $19 a disc for,
Yeah,
which is one episode. Now you get the whole thing for like $50.
yeah. So, yeah, well, listen, live and learn, or in your case, live and don't learn. But that's neither here nor there because it's time for our final thoughts on
Final thoughts. I'll
Hegemony
go first.
Part
My
1.
final thoughts on Stranger Worlds, Season 2, Episode 10, Hegemony Part 1. I really loved it. As far as two-parters go in Star Trek, this is way up there for me. It's one that I will revisit again, even though, like I said, I watched it 5 times preparing for this. It's just fun. I don't think I'll ever watch it on its own again. I'll just probably watch it part of the part 1 and part 2. But yeah, I just love everything about it, and it being about Captain Batel
Yeah.
and getting to know that character more. And now, oh my god, I'm emotional. She's in jeopardy. So it's like I want to know. I feel like I might have felt back for Best of Both Worlds Part 1. I need to know what happens. So I'm gonna give it out of 5. I wrote it down so I can remember it. Hopefully, I wrote it down to where I can see it. I'm gonna give it 5 wee boxes.
5 wee boxes
Yeah, a little wee box that Scotty makes
out of
to fool the
5.
Gorn. Did you notice he was kind of throwing shade? On the landing party. He was like, it was meant to fool the Gorn, because they're dumb and like you guys fell in a trap.
Yes.
That's a lot of lieutenants. I can't even do the accents. That's a lot of lieutenants.
Left.
They kept saying lieutenant, 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 lieutenant.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, it's cool
It
that
was
people
fun.
still have accents then. So yeah, I'm gonna go with 7 wee boxes. I'm gonna go with 7 wee boxes.
Think of,
What are your final thoughts and
was it
ratings out of 5?
Finnegan.
Yeah.
I be God James. Ah, Jamesy.
It's good to hold on to your heritage, right?
Yeah, and your bowl haircut, I guess. Anyway, different episode. Final thoughts on this. I mean, as good as Action Trek gets. I mean, this is the kind of action that I think Discovery strove for many times throughout its run and just couldn't really pull off very well. I think that if you're going to do an episode that's a gritty, tense, like in danger, like war, this is how you do it. And it still had elements of Star Trek. It's still recognizably Star Trek for all that, which to me
Very.
is a very delicate balancing act that they don't usually get right. Not since DS9 anyway. So I'm very happy to report that I give this 4.5 I was gonna say inadvertently tripped Gorn traps out of 5.
Oh, I'm
So
so
you sort of
sorry.
stole it. So,
I
but
want Wii boxes.
I'm gonna stick with it. So Wii boxes, that was a different thing though. The Wii box wasn't the Wii box.
Oh yeah,
That was
one
the
was
cloaking
the
one.
trap, and one
Yeah,
was the
it was like the
the
cloaking.
the cloaking thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
yeah,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I'm very, very excited to see how they resolve this in the season premiere. If they resolve it, what Batel's fate is going to be, the whole nine. Whether or not Spock and Chapel make it as a couple,
S- Yeah,
and
I need to know if those two kids make it.
what happens? What happened to the rest of the landing party? What happens to Ortegas? What
Yeah, they got
happens
beamed out.
to
The
Long?
green
What
beam,
happens?
right?
Yeah, green
Gorn.
beam.
So
So,
much indecision.
so the fate of the green beams is also something that we need to.
The Jolly Green Giants. Can you imagine if that's what it was?
So yeah, I mean,
All
yeah,
right.
if you're gonna
So,
do it,
what
this is
are
how
we
you do
talking
it.
about next? The next
Well,
episode of Star Trek we're talking
before
about.
I tell you about that, I want to tell those
Okay.
people out there how they can tell us what they think of this episode. You can find us right here on YouTube,
Comment below.
youtube.com/Treksploration.
Subscribe.
Subscribe,
Hit that
click subscribe.
subscribe.
Just subscribe. What are you waiting for? Do it already.
Yeah, 69% of our people are not subscribed that watch.
Right? Let's bring that
That's a
to
lot.
47%.
Yeah,
So,
let's do that. You can do it.
support the show. Be like the other 69%. Support the show at patreon.com/Treksploration. There you'll find
Nice.
different levels where you can be a cadet or a captain or a admiral.
An 8472
You can
something.
be a lieutenant. So yeah.
Write us if you want to be omnipotent. We can grant omnipotence.
We can do that. We can do that. So Albie will give you all the details on that.
Yep.
Hit us up on Instagram at Treksploration Pod, Blue Sky at Treksploration, TikTok.com/@Treksploration, email TreksplorationPod@gmail.com. Send us whatever you'd like to the post office box. That's P.O. Box 542, Bayport, New York 11705. Send us your fan art. That's P.O. Box 542, Bayport, New York 11705. Albie's going to put a QR code on the screen or point you to a link below, one or both or either, for PayPal so that you can give us a one-time donation if you're so inclined. You can also do that at buymeacoffee.com/Treksploration. And please reach out. Tell us what you think. No matter how you do so, rest assured that what you tell us will eventually, probably, make it here on a future episode of Treksploration. And you asked me to tell you about future episodes. You know what's coming up next. What's coming up next? The season premiere.
The season premiere, season 3, episode 1, with our special guest. You want to announce it?
Dun 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 dun.
The lovely, funny, intelligent, kind
Allison Pregler. She's back.
Pregler.
Guess who's back? Pregler's back
again
for Hegemony Part 2.
Yeah, I was watching
my beat's falling apart
Secret
here.
Galaxy, and she got a shout out. I was like, she's going to be on our show.
Secret Galaxy? Wow, they have like a gazillion followers.
They do.
So does Allison Pregler, for that matter. So Allison,
yeah, that's true.
Our oldest,
She's on
dearest
that
friend.
Luckily, we're friends with her, and she's doing our little Star Trek show.
Yes. So anyone who doesn't know Allison, please go and listen to the Quantum Leap podcast. Me, Allison, and Matt hosted it for quite a while, and we always had an amazing time. Allison is a singular talent. You don't want to miss the premiere episode of season 3, Hegemony Part 2, with special guest Allison Pregler here on Treksploration. That's what's coming next.
I think it's going to be a great show.
Fourth dimensionally?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Fourth
Wink.
dimensionally.
Wink. So, yeah, I mean, Allison is going to join us for Hegemony Part 2. This is Hegemony Part 1. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, we've been recording stuff all out of order, Albie. I'm kind of confused. Are we going to air this before we do the season retrospectives? Or are we going to keep this in the can and do the season and then drop season 1 retrospective, season 2 retrospective, and then Hegemony Part 1? Or, I mean, you're the producer. You have to tell me. Like, I'm just here on mic. It's up to you. I think I know what you're doing. See also the final minute of Hegemony Part 1. It's funny to me anyway. Albie, what do we do? Albie, what are your orders?
also the gorgeous sight to see. You are omnipotent, guiding us so free. Watch it all night, we're ready for a ride. Check it to the car, side by side. Feel the rhythm as we move to the beat. And we're World Podcast with DSB. Sideways flowing, we set the stage. Listen, Albie Blue Willows from every age. Captain Charles, get ready to the cosmic tide. Get our militant look. Time to ride. Let's ride away. Can't miss our space. If the love says, working all night, that's the stars line. Drinking till bars, with it just fine.
Treksploration. Woo, woo, woo. Treksploration.